Yo.
Hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing? I am Galaxy Venus, and this is the Central Eccentric Podcast, episode 3, Trays, where we are going to be discussing high value men. Where are they? And how do we value them? Y'all ready to take off and go into orbit? I love being in the stars. I don't dwell here on the earthly realm. I'm always somewhere in the higher dimensions, in the higher heavens, just elevating and being illuminated, because that's just who I am. So yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. I see there are a couple of people that are in the chat. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all so much. Feel free. You're welcome to come up at any time. I'm so excited about today's topic. I know that there's nothing new under the sun. And so I'm pretty sure that this has been talked about, God knows where, maybe everywhere. I'm pretty sure not nowhere. Y'all feel me? But in the discussion of a high value man, the first thing I gotta say is, on some real stuff, a high value man is a real man. Let that just travel down your throat chakra, minister to your heart chakra, and then hit whatever chakra this is right here, the sacral and all of that, and just let it go all the way down to the root, so you can get rooted in the statement that was just made. I'm going to say it one more again. A high value man is a real man. And what is a real man? Somebody may ask. A mature man, a man that respects himself and respects others, a compassionate man, a supportive man, a man that has, well, if he respects himself, he values himself. So when he values himself, he becomes a high value man. Now, there are so many things that can go into play of how do we respect ourselves, or how does a man value himself that makes him a high value man. We're going to get into that. Society today, from what I have seen too many times, and it's so sad, I can't stand it, places the value of a man on what he can financially provide. I'm not going to knock nobody's hustle. At least I'm going to try not to. But at the same time, when did that become the only thing that makes a man or a human? Let's just take away the fact that he's a man. When did finances alone, become the only thing that makes a human valuable? Can we just let that sink in for a second? Think about so many men that may be what people, females in particular, call financially stable. His finances is not going to make him a high value man, because he can have a stable income. But what if he's irresponsible with the way that he governs his income? Is he then a high value man? I don't know about all that. That wouldn't work for me. He can be financially stable, but doesn't know how to honor you as his partner. Is he still a high value man? And if the answer to any of these questions is no, then in my opinion, we should change the narrative when we say a high value man is a man that can provide, if that's the first thing on our list. Because provision is not always about finances. When a man can provide comfort, that's provision. When he can provide support outside of paying for something, because at that point he becomes a sponsor. I'm gonna try to stay on track because it be blowing me. If he is disrespectful, if he is quick tempered, I wouldn't consider that high value. What scale are we measuring people on? Again, thank you to everybody that is tuning in. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna say a couple more times. Feel free to come up and jump right on in if y'all have something to add. So I mentioned that a man that respects himself, in my opinion, is a high value man. And what are some of the ways that a man respects himself? When he does what's right according to his needs and desires in life, such as if you know you need to be more vocal about people overstepping boundaries. You are disrespecting yourself and you are not valuing yourself if you allow people to cross that line that makes you uncomfortable to where you want to say something, but you hold back. That's not valuing ourselves. But when we get to a place to where we are standing in our right, as a person, and what may move us the wrong way, so to speak, then we are respecting ourselves. So that's the first thing. What is a high value man? The second thing is, where are they? Oh my gosh. Everybody wants to know where we can find a good man. And that's another thing. For me, a high value man is a good man. And what makes a man a good man? Same thing I said earlier. Respectful, compassionate, loyal, caring, governs himself maturely. Where can we find these people at? Sometimes they are right in front of our eyes. For real, for real. A high value man can be an Uber driver. People, did she just say that? I did. The Uber driver can be a high value man. That's what you can find him at, sitting in the back seat of that Uber. Never thought about that, did you? See, I'm here to help. I'm gonna help us out. That's what I'm here for. You can find a high value man in a grocery store. How often do we really pay attention to men that may be grocery shopping by themselves, especially if we can get close enough or see from a distance that there's not a wedding band on their finger? It gives me so much joy and so much pleasure to see a man grocery shopping and doing normal life things with this certain energy about himself. He may not be happy-go-lucky, smiling and cheerful like he's had the best day, but if he doesn't look like life has drug him down, like he's going through something, that's a man that you definitely, in my opinion, of course, may want to pay attention to. Now, for the ones that may look like life has drugged them down, an encouraging word goes a long way. And I'm going to just say that. Another place we can find a high value man. It depends on how often you go outside and some of the things that you like to do. Um, I don't want to be cliche, but do. I don't know how many adults still go to the library unless we need something printed off or something like that. Times have changed. I'm such a homebody, so I don't get out much. But what is somewhere else? If you have, you know what? Got a good one. And this gonna blow some of y'all mind. Where can you find a high value man? You might find him walking down the street past your house. How about that one? A lot of people will see a man walking and automatically disregard him. Oh, he ain't got that ninja ain't got no car. He might not have a car, or his car might be in the shop, or he might just have lost his vehicle due to an accident. You never know. But most of us are so quick to judge that we'll just push them to the side. The same with seeing somebody on the bus, if we ride public transportation. And that's another thing. If we value ourselves as women, and I'm talking specifically to the women right now, and if you are a woman that may not have a vehicle yourself, and so you are Ubering, or you may have to take public transportation, sisters, how dare y'all decrease a man's value when you're sitting in the same seat that he's in? You think you the shit, don't you? You know, you got some shit you need to work towards, da this and da that, but it doesn't make you less valuable. I'm hoping you don't think you're less valuable to someone just because you don't have a car. I'm just saying. I'm hoping that we as women are not decreasing our value because we got to ride the bus. So if we are not doing it to ourselves, why would we do it to the brothers? I'm just saying. Like, real talk. Just as much of a wonderful person and a great person that you think you are, and how you are the bomb and got so much to bring to the table, see the same thing in that man that's walking in the same kind of shoes. You feel me? We have someone that has just cammed up. I want to make sure, are there any comments? See. Oh, no. Say, P. Monsell Singer 700 said, greetings, salutations from OG Patrice. I like that. Yes, indeed. Who do we have here on the screen with us this evening? Introduce yourself. Welcome to the Eccentric podcast, episode 3, where we are discussing high value men. What's cracking?
A few eggs.
Say that again, darling.
You said what's cracking. I said a few eggs.
Oh! Right now, or earlier today, or just in general, eggs crack?
Yeah, eggs crack.
For sure, because Humpty Dumpty damn sure fell off the wall.
Yeah, we talking about.
Say that again.
Yeah, you got a delay. Am I coming through clear?
You are. Let's see if I mute what happens. Were you hearing me clearly before you cammed up? Was everything okay then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to comment on that. So A lot of people know about me and my accident, of course, being in a relationship. But my lady, she moved here. She moved back here from Kansas City, Kansas, and her license was expired for like the first, I would say, 2 months. We were Ubering it up until I got my car because I have a car, but I had to get that all in order. So we actually went through that process, and that's what made me adore her so much because I just kept telling her, "Do you know how many women would not do this shit? They would not. They cried, they threw up in the air, and then even if you have a car, what kind? The kind that drives us from A to B and is clean. Heat works, windows roll up. I mean, so I did want to speak on that because you somewhat to a degree spoke my story. Now the bus part, I be making sure she has a ride on the Uber because I just don't trust I just don't trust people. It's too. She in DC. It's crazy. It's too crazy, and so I'll make sure she always has a ride back and forth during that time. Now it's just to the point where things are back in order. But we went through that. We went through the whole not being able to drive ourselves around for a while. And I felt like some shit because of it. As being the man, I'm like, yo, like I can't take you where I want to take you, but I can get you there. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, I digress. My mic is muted. You know what I'm saying? I'm come up to hang out with you for a little bit, maybe till a few more people get up in here. I got you.
I appreciate that. I got a question for you. What would you say to a woman that would judge a man that doesn't have a car and Ubers everywhere he goes? Um, I think about certain places. I definitely hear about places like New York that it's not convenient to have a vehicle because of how bad traffic is. And so for them, from what I've heard, because I haven't had the opportunity to
Mm.
visit New York yet, any city in New York, that public transportation is more convenient. But if you don't live in a city like that, what would you say to a woman um, about judging a man that doesn't have a vehicle? Because me myself, I've talked to a few men, and I've actually heard men say they prefer not to have a vehicle. Just like some people prefer not to be a homeowner. I don't want to own my own home. I'll rent and I'm cool. Some people just they don't want I don't want to say responsibility of a vehicle, but for them it's more convenient to just not have that to deal with.
Yeah, so all right, one, when you were speaking about high value, right? High value men. Unfortunately, what true value is has been muffled by money. It's like nobody when I think high value, I think of the qualities of my father. Dedicated, hardworking, loyal, somebody who actually will talk to you if you're having a bad day, somebody who will come visit you if you're hurt and bring you get well balloons. Somebody who actually, yes, pays the bills. Yes, he ain't doing all that broke. So I believe that even when we talk about high value men and women, I personally like to exclude the money part because I'm gonna give you one perfect example of somebody who has a lot of money, as they say, and they are not a high value man, and that would be Anton Daniels. That man got money. He has a whole bunch of money. He travels. He got all these Rolexes, and the man's going around acting like a piece of shit right now. You do realize every day that there's a pipehead who hits the Powerball or the lotto, right? Does that
Mm.
now make you value just because you came across money? So that's what I'm saying. Is like I do believe the one, but a few others, the whole Kevin Samuels era that I never really got with because every time I hear high value, y'all keep talking about six figures and up. Well, here it is. Six figures ain't shit no more. That ain't no real money no more. You bringing in your little punk ass 120? It's not. When you talking about the cost of living and how much things cost, and for you to really, especially if it's kids or a relationship involved, it's money. It's money you can spend, but it ain't nothing for you to be running around flexing about. It's not. You make 100 and something, but your bills is like 90. You ain't coming off that good. You ain't got that much left over. You know how many people I know in real life who I have loaned money to and they make over six figures. I had to loan them $200-300 for a bill real quick. I've never made over 100K. I've always been around the 70, 80s range because I'm a chef. My career field I never hit that high. And I know people that make more than me, and I've had to loan them money. So I just wanted to say that to land it. I value the money can be incorporated with it, but it's like trying to say the cherry on the top is the cake. That's not the cake. That's just those are sprinkles and cherries. The cake is underneath. But I digress. My mic is muted. Respect, sis. Go ahead, rock out. I don't want to hold the floor too long.
The interesting thing about everything you just said, I had spoke about that. Too many times. One specific thing that I said, a man can make a certain amount of money, but if he's not governing that money properly, then how can he still be considered a high value man? He could have a gambling problem. He could have a spending problem. He could loan money just to everybody just because he feel like I got it, I want to flaunt it, whatever. If you are irresponsible with your finances, I can't get with that being a high value man. Not only that, but another thing I spoke about, I said, you know, he may make what people consider a lot of money, but what if he doesn't respect you? What if he doesn't respect himself? How can he still then be a high value man? And then I spoke to the women and specifically said that we as women have to stop making that the number one thing on a list, finances, and a man being able to provide that finances is the only provision that exists, because there are so many other ways that a man can provide. There are so many other ways that a man can help bring stability in our lives and in a household without paying X amount of money or spending X amount of money on this or being able to take us on a trip out of the country here. That is all like smoke and mirrors. It's
Do you
a
know?
lot of people, women want that. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna let you respond.
Okay.
Women, in my opinion, most of the women that want men that, especially a man that makes over six figures, I think it's just for social status. They want to have something to brag about that makes them feel important to other women. Oh, he could do this and he got me this and we went here, and it's just to look good amongst your peers. And to me, that is bullshit, because if you need things to validate your relationship, then it's not really a relationship. It's a goddamn show at that point.
Do you know how many pieces of shit come across money every day? Excuse my language. I mean just absolutely horrible people. And they got that bag. And so when you were speaking about as far as like making that the forefront, you're absolutely right. Like in the household, like you know how much money is saved because I actually do know how to change my own oil. You know how much money I save? You know how much money I save because I actually know how to take care of my own yard and it looks professional. edges trimmed and everything. You know how much money I save because I know how to do things. I know how to do touch up paint. I know about plaster. I know, I mean, the basics. Now, I don't actually do no electrical work. We all gonna blow up, right? But basic stuff, the things that I know how to do, I have saved so much money over decades because I'm self sufficient and knowing how to do things. But that's not valued anymore because women don't want the dude that can cook them the meal. They want the nigga who owns the restaurant. I don't want the top chef. I want the owner. Knowing damn well anything when you own, that's gonna be time consuming. Would you think he owns stuff and he can just lounge around and y'all just looking like celebrities on one of them shows? That man busy.
I'm so glad you said that because I was going to say that because they'll get what they think they want
Right.
and have a man that makes a certain amount of money, but he don't have the time that you desire to spend with you. Um And then what's wrong with the doggone chef? Before we continue, I want to welcome Miss OG Patrice. I'm excited to talk to you, Miss Lady. I don't believe I've ever met you before, but with a name like OG Patrice, baby, you put OG in front of anything, and I'm like, let me go ahead and hear what you got to say, because to call yourself OG, that's a boss move right there. What's happening, mamas?
How you doing, beautiful? And to the young man on the panel, I've been in these YouTube streets for over 5 years, so I kind of got that. I kind of graduated from that name, and I have been on this platform many a times, although it's been a while. But thank you for having me, and y'all cooking up here. And I want to say that to the young man, what's his name?
Love you, OG.
you,
Hey, love you too. See, I get love when I come on panel.
you
Um,
I really appreciate that. I'm not gonna lie. 43 to be called a young man. Thank you. Thank
yeah, you are young to me.
you.
Okay, so you closer to my son age now. That should tell you why I'm called OG, right?
You can either call me Smitty or Seven, either Mr. Seven or Smitty, whichever rolls off your
Okay,
tongue.
okay, Smitty.
Yeah,
I am so glad that you gave that analogy of the women want the restaurant owner instead of the chef. It's I had to come up here when I heard you say that and heard you guys talking. I married a chef. My husband was a chef, and we were married for 10 years, and he is definitely a high value man. And you're right. It's very, very hard for chefs to make six figures unless they doing some Lakotan blue stuff up
yeah,
on for
you,
rich people, private chef type stuff like that.
yeah, personal chef for like celebrities. You can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's tough.
Right. So, and the thing about it is, when we were married, I always made more money than him.
Yeah,
And I didn't have a problem with that. And he didn't have a problem with that because if a man knows his manhood and knows his self worth and knows his value as a man, and he knows his position and place in the marriage, then it wouldn't be no need for him to go around and flaunt like he's a high value man because he just is. These things that I hear a lot of these people on these platforms say it's like they're trying to browbeat it into women's heads with the whole high value man and they got to make six figures and submit, submit, submit. I've been hearing this for 5+ years on this platform. And none of if you are with a real man, my husband had to never tell me to submit to him because I knew my place as his wife and I knew when to submit. He never had to force it or tell me to do it, right? So it's the same. The men that are they used to follow or go by the ideology of Kevin Samuels with the high value man. You're right. It was based off of he has to make six figures or more, and he leads with his wallet. That's not a quality man. That's a man to me that's insecure and don't value himself as a man if he feels like he have to buy a woman.
And
That's
not only
that's
that, sis, but how I talked about at that point, you're a sponsor. Like you just
exactly.
don't sponsor a woman. You what's the other word?
Oh, he could be a sugar daddy. I mean, it's so many different
A
words.
benefactor. That's the word I was looking for.
Exactly, the benefactor, friends with benefits, they call it. It's so many scenarios, right? And I have dated because I've been in the entertainment industry for over 30 years, and I have worked with some celebrities, and I have been in rooms and have dated millionaires, and every last one of them was an asshole. When I dated my husband, who was strictly just a regular hard working chef, right? That I made more money than when I toured and things of that nature. He was a hell of a more man than that six figure man and that wealthy man that I dated from the entertainment industry. So I try to tell these young ladies that you're going about it the wrong way if you're just only valuing a man based off of his finances. A lot of those men, and I promise you, because they go by that whole, we got option stuff. That was another thing that came from, Kevin Samuels. Just because you're a high value man, you got options. Basically, that's meaning, oh, we can fool around with as many women as we can afford to. Now you got me effed up with that one. You feel me? But that was the conversation that was being had. And these women were literally sitting up there not arguing the point back and valuing themselves, saying, no, just because he make a whole lot of money don't mean he has the right to cheat on me with any woman he wants to. No, I'm sorry. So
You
this
know,
whole conversation, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna put you briefly. It reminded me of when I was watching, the little cop videos and people having little disorderlies and stuff like that. I will never forget hearing this woman try to call her because her and her boyfriend were going through it. I'm gonna be real quick, get to M3 and whoever else. Shout out. So he came out her monkey ass mouth and said, "Nigga, you broke. You only make 700 a week. That's broke." We got to the point where 700, seven times four. That's not bad. And I'm talking about considering if you now, mind you, they in a regular little row houses. They regular one nothing fancy smashy wasn't nothing. They weren't in no $500,000 house or nothing. Had regular car
Right.
and everything else. And apparently he was the sole provider. But I'm just saying, like how like that's like that was wild to me. She said
Wait a minute.
seven
So
hundred
you
feet.
mean to tell me a woman that had no, not a woman, a female that
Right.
was dealing with a guy and he was the sole provider and
Yeah.
she had the nerve to call him broke?
Because he makes only 700 a week.
But
Well, this
so
is the thing about that. Women love to uh, emasculate men in that way, and you have to
let
be
me say
careful
this,
when you date them kind of women. Be careful with that because as soon as they get mad at you, they will emasculate you by saying something like that.
well, that's not a woman. We gonna talk about that at some time because real women, mature women, would never emasculate a man. We know how
Absolutely.
to respect and value men. Value men. The problem with females is they live too much in fantasy and don't know the difference between fantasy and reality. And so they has this ideology in this fantasy world that a lot of people like to use the word delusional and throw that around, but it's just they're in a fantasy world and they can't distinguish the difference between fantasy in reality. I want to welcome, before we continue, M3 to the panel. How are you, love? It's been a minute since I've seen you. It's been a minute since I've been around, but
Yeah, it's
hey,
definitely.
yo.
Thank you.
Hey, M3.
Salute, OG Patrice. How you doing?
I'm
Smooth.
good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Right now I am planning to try to take like another long hiatus. It would definitely be good for my health, mental health, and other things that I need to kind of like deal with on a personal scale. But I just wanted to come up because just like where the family's at, and just kind of give whatever input that you need from me. So I'll be up here just for like maybe just a few minutes, and I'm about to dip out. But just wanted to come up there, man, just to like salute you.
I appreciate you. We're going to get to a video. We actually have a video clip. I saw this thing yesterday, and when I seen it, I was like, I gotta have this clip played on the podcast, because when I tell you it shook me, it rocked me a little bit. I was like, whoa, here we go. So I am going to ask Mr. Best if he will go ahead and get that ready and put that up, because I don't know if y'all ready for this one. This gonna blow your socks off. I ain't even got
Well,
socks on, so that's why
I
I
done
ain't wearing
seen
no
and heard
socks.
it all, child. I done seen and heard it all, so I probably won't be surprised.
I might.
If your partner is amazing, like he's amazing emotionally, physically. Earlier this year, I had to have 2 brain surgeries. He stayed with me in the hospitals. He even washed my butt some of the times.
Damn.
But he wasn't working for a couple of months, and I'm 24 now. So I basically feel like I'm just real grown, and I just want to know, like, how long.
Tell me more about this 24 grown. That's not me talking, that's the crowd. So what's your question?
Basically, like, we haven't been out on any dates or anything recently, and I just want to know, like, how long do I wait before I feel appreciated?
This saying. And you don't feel appreciated. Can't win.
This is at the point that we have to acknowledge people's capacities. Because while you were in your season of being taken care of, he was the one doing the nursing.
Let's stop it there.
And
yeah, I want to stop the video there.
Gotcha.
I saw this and I was like, wow. I don't know if I was shocked that a young lady at 24 years of age, she said she feel like she real grown. And I thought to myself, well, young lady, what makes you real grown? Why you just can't be a regular adult? Like, what do you have to prove to the point to where you feel like you real grown? When we get to that real grown stage, our action speaks for ourselves. We don't have to say, I'm real grown. Now, on the opposite end of that, I'm gonna keep it real, because I don't know how to do anything else but that. When I am upset and I'm fussing, that is the only time I will say, I'm a grown ass woman, dog. I'm a grown ass woman for real. But at that point, I be pissed off, but not just on some regular stuff. I just walking around saying I'm grown for real. I'm not about to be doing that. If you can't see that I'm grown, then that's your fucked up eyesight. Go get some glasses or something. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
But it really tripped me out that.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. It's a delay. I'm sorry.
That this young lady said, and this was one of the things why I had to play it, because in my opinion, she did not see the value in who this man was. He took care of her. She said she had 2 brain surgeries. He took care of her, was there with her, and even sometimes physically cleaned and wiped her behind. When do you get to say what? I wish I can quote her because it just slipped my mind.
You mean when
She's
she said she
waiting to be appreciated.
yeah, to be appreciated. Yeah.
What? Ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. I'm gonna let y'all chime in.
Yeah, you don't mind. Okay. I'm just gonna say this, and I know I do have to go. So a couple of things I just want to point out, right? This is why I try my best not to get caught up in watching these type of videos. Now, again, I know for sure she's probably serious though, but a lot of times people on social media, they just say some of the most like ridiculous things off the internet just to get shock value. And just by her laughing, she already knows that she's already putting herself up for condemnation. You know what I mean? Because those are the type of things that you don't really say out to the public. Those are the type of thoughts that you see Marie be having, especially when somebody actually has been there and back for you. But the reality is that a lot of times, and I'm not just saying like female specific, I'm talking about just in by human nature. Humans, right, will only remember of the things that you don't do for them rather than the things that you do for them, which is sad. And I was even reflecting on that. So that's kind of like how it kind of hit me hard a little bit. Because a lot of times you could do 100 kind things, 100 nice things for someone. But you do something wrong, some people, I'm not gonna say all, but some people internalize that and they allow the negativity as opposed to the things that you have done that is positive. And this is how relationships like get shipwrecked. You know.
Let me also say this, M3, if I may, really quickly. It's selfish for a person, because I can only imagine, and I'm gonna assume because this wasn't said in the video, but I think about how would a person feel that way? Okay, you were there for me in my time of need, but some people may feel like, but I didn't ask you to do that. I'm asking you to take me on a date though. This is what I want. And so they'll forget about or not consider the importance of, okay, you didn't ask, but I still showed up. What is more important to you? And you mentioned people saying stuff just to be saying it. But what if at her 24 years of age, that she is ignorant to the fact that, okay, yeah, he did this, but there is I won't even say the younger generation of females, but there is a certain type of female that wants that bragging right of, okay, he did this for me. And because a lot of people don't really understand, if you've never had to take care of somebody, you don't know how taxing that is, how much effort spiritually and mentally you have to invest in a person to be able to take care of them. To me, she just looked like a very ignorant young lady. Like, she said she was real grown, but to me, her age, it spoke for itself. Like, baby, you don't know too much about nothing in life in order to make a statement like that.
I do agree. And this is where it's like, age is just like a number, because age does not develop maturity. It's through like your experiences and the decisions that you decide to make, and educate yourself, and actually having those situational awareness skills, and also having some type of morale where you have an appreciation for the person who actually spent his tax and time taking care of you. The key things that she mentioned, right? And I'm about to go after I say this. Like, I guess he wasn't working for a long period of time. Well, the reality is that if you're taking care of someone who's going through a dire situation, what was it, brain tumors or something like that, and you're pretty much being their nurse, their unpaid nurse. So you already have sacrificed a lot of your personal free time and your lifestyle just to make sure that this person is well taken care of.
That's me.
That person who's saying that, right? If I was in that type of position where I'm the guy that's listening and you're doing this, like, saying that type of stuff online, I will be I'll be mortified. I will literally be crushed, because of the thing. And I'm not trying to try to, say the man to take credit or feel proud of what he done. But the thing is, basic appreciation definitely comes a long way. That's all I'm going to say.
In addition to that, and then I'm going to let the other panelists give their take if they have something to add about the video. I had mentioned earlier that a lot of females want a certain type of thing from a man for social status. They want something to be able to brag about. And because most young ladies in their 20s don't have a health problem, maybe to her it's not braggadocious to say, well, girl, I was in the hospital and he took care of me. Like what 20-year-old gonna brag about that? Maybe she didn't think that was worth bragging about. It's a little bit difficult to believe that she didn't think that was a big deal, but we can't underestimate somebody else's ignorance. That's just one of those things. But it appears to be that something of monetary value, something that can be shown off in a different way, gives her more self-value, or that social status. Like, he was able to take me here and he was able to take me there. And too many females just get caught up in what a man can do opposed to who he is, and what he truly has to offer outside of what he can pay for. I'm going to let the rest of the panelists speak. Thank you so much, M3, for joining me. Whenever you're ready to leave, go ahead. But I appreciate you joining. I appreciate you adding your insight. And it's all love all the time. Let's hear from our other panelists.
Thank you, fam.
I'll go last, ladies first.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Smitty. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Galaxy, and I agree with what M3 is saying as well. Just to add my little take on it as well, she seems like a very immature. Why she want to say she whole grown or she whole whatever? Because she's 24 years old. That's still kind of wet behind the ears. Your brain isn't fully developed until you're 25. So she might still got some soft places in her brain that she's thinking from right now when she said that, right? But yeah, that's very immature, very ignorant, very selfish and self-centered. You can tell she's that type of woman to not put value in the fact and appreciate and realize that she was really being appreciated when that man was taking care of her. Any man or woman that will wipe your butt, your derriere, gotta love you. Like real talk. Only somebody that loves you truly, unless that's their job, if they, a CNA or something like that. But a person that will naturally wipe your derriere loves you. Because I don't know no one in the world besides my son, God forbid, my mother or my husband that I would do that for. Ever again. Because I actually did it for someone that I once loved. I wasn't even in love with him anymore. But I did it for him based off of the good man that he was to me when we were together.
Wow. You know what, sis? I hear you say that, and I think about something else that the young lady said. She said, how long do I have to wait to feel appreciated? You don't know
What
this
what
man
she's talking about?
appreciates you.
Yeah, she's talking about materialistic things.
I
When
know.
she said that, I already knew that's where she's going. She wants the, like you said, sis, the bragging rights to say, "Girl, look what he bought me. He brought me this diamond tennis bracelet, or this diamond necklace, or these diamond earrings. Girl, he bought me a car. Girl, you know that girl." See,
And
they
the
put
thing is, what if she had a guy that was taking her out on dates? She could go out on dates as many times as she had time in the week. But when she really needed somebody to be there for her, even if it wasn't a health crisis, this man ain't nowhere to be found. What you gonna do then? Regurgitate the dinner that you ate earlier in the week?
exactly, and just like you saying, she wants. She, what Smitty said, she don't want the man that'll cook her a good meal. She want the man that'll take her to an expensive restaurant and spend $200 or $300, or either own the restaurant. She see that man necessarily as the high value man, or the man that appreciating her. But on the same token, women don't realize that a lot of those men that are like that are very abusive towards women. They're very abusive because usually they're very narcissistic, and they realize that money is buying them things, so they feel that it gives them a right to treat the woman any kind of way they want, talk to the woman any kind of way they want. Some of them are even violent. Women are staying with men that have a lot of money, and they are being abused.
Oh, we are going to get there in just a minute. Too many of us females got shit fucked up. Let's hear from Seven really quickly, and then we gonna go to the second clip because I got another clip for us.
Okay, am I coming through clear? Is it clear that I'm coming through? Is it clear?
Speak, love.
Okay, no, I'm just making sure because with these phones, man, you be dropping some gems and only like portions of it was heard. I hate that. First and foremost, being 43, I'm very thankful I made it to this age. If only I can tell you how many times my mind has shifted and altered and changed throughout from 24 till now. So as soon as she said I'm grown, I'm like, yeah, all right. So that's that part. Honestly, I don't have too much to add because you ladies, honestly, like y'all killed it right there. You all were the ones who was cooking and chefing it up. It's just about bragging rights. What it is that that's why I say honestly, man, like social media is so dangerous for relationships because
It
it's all
really is.
because it's about competition. Oh, look at what he taking her. How come we ain't? I like flowers too. Like you need to get off that shit, girl. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't have that much to add to that. You all killed it. It is about the bragging rights. And it was one last thing I wanted to say, but if it comes back to my mind, I ain't gonna hold the floor. Maybe I'll say it if it's relevant later.
I would agree with you, Smitty, on the social media, but I would also say that reality TV has a lot to do with it too. I think a lot of these women see the lives of some of these fake reality TV stars, and they fantasize that they can live their life like that or as close to that. Let me get me a baller. But if you pay attention to even in reality TV, all those women that had wealthy men, they all were abused. And now they ain't together no more. They're getting divorced. It's so much. So again, I really think they are delusional and they got their priorities mixed up when it comes to what is a high value man and being appreciated by a man. Because what that man did for her when she was sick was priceless. You can't even put a dollar amount on that. Because that man that she think is the high value man would not have did that. He probably would say, I'll hire somebody to do it or something like that. Or he would have walked away and left her when she was sick and went on to the next woman. So I think that they're not really thinking at a mature level. At least I know she's not having that conversation and saying what she's saying. And I land my plane there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of where I am. That's the main reason why the first thing I said is how many times my mind has switched over. Things that when I was 24, like I'll give you one small example. When I was 24, I didn't really care about litter in the neighborhood. I am so anal about that stuff now. I can't stand people that throw trash on the ground. That's just one. You see what I'm saying? When I was 24, that meant nothing. I can't
Right.
just pass it. But now I actually look like, man, y'all tearing it, man. It looks nice out here. Why y'all got all these goddamn Chick-fil-A bags out on the bench? Trash can right there. You couldn't throw that shit away. So I'm just saying,
Right.
as you're older, so anybody telling you I'm 24 and I'm grown, you already, you already know what you're dealing with from there. So I already knew it was downhill when she started out saying that. That's why I wasn't that shocked when she came out and said what she said. But I digress. My mic is muted. Go ahead, rock out, Venus.
I want to add this, and then we're going to go to a second clip. She mentioned that he wasn't working. My thing is, as a woman, I'm not going to say it's our job or it's our duty. What I am going to say is we should be able to pour into our partner to where we know what their gifts are and where they may thrive as far as a profession. If this man took care of you, he may not have a job right now. Are you encouraging him and asking him how do he feel about getting into the medical field and being a caretaker? The only thing you have to do is complain that he don't have a job and you waiting to feel appreciated so you can go on a date. I'm gonna just stop there because it's irritating to me.
Venus, can I say one last thing, Venus?
Go ahead.
So, do you know, I had a chance to speak to her on the phone. Of course, I'm always calling and checking. Do you know where my mother went today? You know where she went? My mother drove her husband, my father, to go get his bags. He's on dialysis to get his kidneys get drained. My mom sat there with that man all day. My mother has always made more than my father. My mother worked, like I said, in corporate America. She used to work for the Supreme Court. She was in that corporate world. My dad, like myself, was a chef. You would never know that my mother ever made more than my father because of how she carries herself in her marriage.
Exactly. And your mother didn't throw it up in your daddy's face every time they got into a little argument or a tiff about her being the boss and she make the most money, so she make the rules and all that crap.
No. If anything, my mother made more and she still would say, you heard what your father said.
Exactly.
I digress. My mic is muted.
We are going to go to the second clip. Before that, though, I want to speak to the young lady that has just joined the chat. I hope I'm saying your name right. Lene Monroe. Maybe it's Lene Monroe. I recognize that profile. I'm not sure if it's from Facebook or Instagram, but you and I were connected on some other social media site before. So it is good to see your face, even as a profile picture. Thank you so much for being here. We are talking about high value men, where to find them and how to value them. Oh, I haven't got on how to value them yet. Oh my gosh, I'm waiting to get there. Y'all don't let me forget that. We are going to go to clip number 2. We are and we're gonna be wrapping this thing up real soon because it's been over an hour. And I don't want to get too repetitive with everything that has been spoken. So let's hit that clip.
You view a relationship where a man provides everything financially but uses that as justification to dismiss your feelings?
Sounds like to me some narcissistic behaviors, baby girl. But it also sounds like a woman who agreed to it. So you can't come up here, and I say this with love, and play victim. So my question to you would be, baby girl, do you want your bills being paid so that he's buying, your freedom? Or are you saying that real wealth is that I can speak and stand in my power and move the way I move, and I'll just have to go out there and figure out how to pay my own bills and find a man who will honor me?
That's what my mama said. Girl, get you a friend on the side. He
got you a little friend.
I got me a little friend.
Are y'all together?
No, my little friend actually blew up the operation.
Your little friends made itself known?
He wanted me out this situation or whatever, but dude, you ain't gonna pay my bills. I mean, now I'm looking at you like, okay, now I need help. You done blew it up. So
wait, hold on. Okay. Because now you're saying you found another person to come in and play savior. That's you just creating the same codependency.
I just listened to my mom.
How much are the bills?
$6,000 a month. He took me to Gucci, bought me a few belts, bought me this, and I'm like, okay, but
my God, baby,
Kitty, what's up?
You so easy to exploit.
Let's stop the video right there. If you can hear me, okay. Woo, so much to unpack there. My. I was hoping you entered the chat. Welcome, darling. We gonna get into it. I'm not gonna speak right now. I don't know if y'all blood is boiling like mine over what she was saying. Homegirl, like, she got up under my skin because she talked about the man paying all the bills and what he wasn't doing. Then she said she got her little friend bragging about it. Like, that was cool.
It didn't make me mad. It just made me really realize how lost some of these young ladies are, the younger generation.
And for me, that angers me. Like, I'm so passionate about us growing, because when I think about love and life, man and woman, there are so many men and guys that have so many complaints about females and women, and vice versa. And it's like we just missing the whole point of it all. I'm gonna let you finish this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I used to get mad. Now I don't. I really try to remain calm and really have a insightful and educated conversation if I was to have one with a young lady like her. But I would say to the young ladies that are listening, that, listens to that platform, because I believe that's Ace and all of them, when they go on their little tours and having these conversations about relationships, they're literally, going viral, having this platform, talking to the younger generation that has to soak this in. And we really have to be careful with what we put in our brains, what we listen to, because things can become repetitious. And if we listen to it long enough, you'll start believing half of the shit that women like her say. And I don't want young ladies to go down that route and think that way, because again, very materialistic. And if this what it is, because again, I told you, between social media and reality TV, these young ladies out here think just because they look halfway decent, they go get some work done, or they pretty or something, they think that prettiness and that value in their looks are going to last them forever. Looks fade, you understand? And it's going to be another pretty woman come along. You know, you're not the only one in. And believe you me, to a man that y'all think is young ladies like her that think that is high value, women come a dime a dozen through their life. They probably got 2 or 3 more like you. And that's just real. You know, so she has a very materialistic disposition, which tells me she will never be in a healthy relationship or marriage if she's basing it off of her materialistic mindset. And I'll land my plane there.
She's the kind of female that we were talking about earlier that wants a benefactor. She needs a sponsor. My thing is, when do we as females, if we are able to get a benefactor or a sponsor, and they're paying bills, but they're not providing whatever desires, the other desires or needs and wants that we have, when is it okay? No, I'm not going to say when it is okay, but how dare you think it's okay to get you a little friend, as she say, if you're not polyamorous, because that's a whole nother ball game. I got to throw that in there because I'm poly. I ain't gonna never deal with one person like ever again in life. You pick and choose your battles. You want somebody that is able to financially provide and take care of your bills. If that is your priority, that's what you got, baby. Stick with it. Who are you to go get somebody else on the side? You can't save your cake and eat it too. That's not how that works. I want to speak to Misunderstood Always. That is such a unique name. I love it. I would love to hear from you, darling. But thank you so much for being in the chat. I appreciate you lending your time. You could have been doing anything, anywhere, but you decided to come be here with us. Anybody else want to speak? And then somebody has joined the 100 Watts, has joined the panel. Welcome, love. It's been a little minute. Thank you so much. Were you able to see the clip?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What's good, Dr. Watts? It's been a minute. How you doing?
OG Patrice.
Oh, yeah, in the flesh.
Let's talk about it, darling. What? How did the clip move you or agitate you tonight?
I think this clip is a great example of people looking for the easy way out and not understanding that it comes with trade-offs. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is one of those situations where if you do get lucky enough to find a partner where you can build something together, that automatically gives you more room to give input and give your voice and to give your thought process on what your household should be doing. If we're talking about what a man should be doing and a woman and how the internet controls this conversation, you have more freedom when you actually build something with somebody. But when you show up to a man that's already making, because for some reason the money seems to be the number one qualifier nowadays, which doesn't make any sense to me. But if you show up to a dude that's already making 6 figures, he's already making $500,000 a year, why do you think that you're going to show up and now change whatever his program is? And I think that applies the other way around. When a man meets a woman and she has something going on for her life, I don't think you should pop up in her life thinking that you're about to change anything for her either. People looking for the easy way out and thinking that it doesn't come with trade-offs. Like, sometimes when you show up into a good situation, you do have to shut the fuck up and take whatever comes with it. That's unfortunately how that goes. And if you're willing to be patient and work through the process and build with somebody and bump your head against the wall a few times. Now y'all have that vested interest in the growth and the development of whatever it is that you're putting together. Even if it's just something as simple as a vacation, y'all have a vested interest in this vacation going the right way. If y'all spent the entire year working hard on something that y'all built together, y'all have a vested interest in that time off. So to just show up thinking that you're gonna get vacations paid for and Birkins and all of this, and think that it's not gonna come with some kind of trade-off, i.e. a man telling you shut the fuck up, don't ask me no questions. Like, sometimes you took the easy way out, so you gotta take the L with that. That's just, this clip was just another example of that to me.
That's exactly why I said, she chose what she chose. It's like that's the bed that she bought. That mattress was comfortable enough for you to buy it. Go ahead and lay in it. Like, does it now have a dent
But
in it or
Venus,
something, and you want a new mattress, so to
but
speak?
Venus, but Venus. Remember, she said the one guy was getting her all the designer stuff, but you still gotta have a side piece. Make
But
that
that's
make
the
sense.
thing. That's why I was saying what's important to her. She needed help paying bills. I think the video, if I'm not mistaken, got cut off at her bills are $6,000 a
6,000.
month.
Right.
Now I know what the rest of the video says. She never mentioned why she needs help with the bills. But they cut into her behind really, really good. But my point is, if you chose to have a man to pay your bills, who are you to get another man when having your bills paid was your priority? You got that. Take that and sit the fuck down. Like,
That's what
and
I'm saying. My point exactly.
Seven.
But enough
You done
wasn't
turned
enough
your
for her.
camera on, darling. I know you only turn your camera on when you ready to speak.
And you know what I'm saying? That wasn't enough for her. It seems like to me she's very, very greedy. And it's not enough for her. She wants more and more and more. And unfortunately somebody like her will definitely prepare themselves for some type of downfall in the near future, because going the route she's going, it never usually is a good ending for females like her. It just isn't.
Well, I'm gonna say this before we hear from Seven. That heifer said somebody has some background feed. I think it just went away. But that heifer said she was listening to her mama, and her mama told her to get her a friend. So that is a big issue with the female community also. Getting advice that is not really beneficial to us and what we truly need and how we need to grow and develop as women. I don't know the age of this young lady. I dare not think about whatever age her mother is, but it's like that was the best advice you could give your daughter. Get you a side piece. What if this man that's paying all the bills, because he's paying all the bills, find out that you got you a little friend, as you say, and go upside your head? Because bitch, I'm paying your bills, and you got the nerve to go get you.
Or
I
what if he
digress.
leaves her and stop paying?
Let's talk to
He could
Seven.
leave her. He could leave her and stop paying the bills too. That's an option.
Come on, Seven. Let's talk to me, hon. What's going on?
What? Check this out. Let me check this trash out.
Is everybody else muted? Can we all mute, please? Because there's something going on in the background.
Am I coming through clear? Am I coming through clear? Okay, just making sure. The reason why she got up here so comfortable with that is extremely simple, at least in my book. That's what's promoted. Most of the time, if people going through something in a relationship, And you know how they say, I went and talked to God. No, you went and talked to some group chat. All right. And what happens is that when these things are celebrated, people don't have no shame in that. Imagine truly if we really just made it cool, like, man, go punch your mother in the mouth if she say something out of line to you. So what? Just go punch your mother, just man, go bust her in her shit. If people really made that normal, you would see and hear a lot more people like, yeah, I just stole the shit out of my mama last night. So I believe what it is more than anything is there is no shame in nothing that these people do. There's no shame. You know how many times she has spoken to people before she got there and they sliced her hair like, oh yeah, good girl. Especially like you said, her own mother said to do it. I didn't even know that part, but I'm not surprised, right? So I mean, if I was to say anything, it's the lack of shame. There's no there's no accountability on that person's part as far as what they're doing because everybody cheers it on. If you're going through a rough patch in a relationship to land it, nobody's going to be like, well, how about how about we all just talk or something? You want to talk it out? If you all try some kind of therapy. No, you know what people say? Do what makes you happy. Shit, girl, we're going and go. Leave. Find another one. Get a better one. Quitting and running is the easiest thing that you can do. And so what she's doing is the stereotypical easy way out. Whatever she got going on, it has to be easier. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted.
Now you mentioned something that I think is very interesting. The advice that somebody would give and say, do what makes you happy. To that I say, if you are going to truly do what makes you happy, don't do it in the middle of a relationship without the person knowing that this is what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? It's unethical. And I deal a lot with unethical and people being deceitful in relationships because I'm a polyamorous woman. So I'm not going to pretend to be in a monogamous relationship knowing I'm polyamorous and I'm dealing with you and you're not doing everything I want you to do. So I'm going to just switch and do this when I know I already have that in me from the beginning. Okay, yeah, do what makes you happy. But does the person you are with does they know that this is how you operate? If not, you bogus as hell, and that's just the bottom line.
And 9 times out of 10, sis, they are lying or they keeping it from that person. Either way it go, they lying to that person, and they're not telling them the whole truth, nor are they giving them the option to choose. And when you take away a person's choice, that's where it becomes problematic. Most people, like you said, if you're not being upfront, like you said, you in a poly, why would you go out there and try to meet somebody and not tell them you're in a poly? That means you are not being truthful and you're not giving them the choice to choose yay or nay if that's something they want to deal with. And we do that all the time, meaning as a collective, I'm saying, but not we up here. We do that all the time when we lie in relationships to people all the time. Right? For the most part.
I believe
the problem is she probably thought she had a high value man because he was able to pay all the bills, but she found out that that financial provider ain't got everything I desire as a woman as far as what I need. 100 watts. You done laughed a lot, smiled a lot. I know you like itching to say something. Go ahead and spit your shit.
No, just on the point that you're on right now. I'm at a point now where I hear these conversations, and every time I hear high value man, it to me sounds like real nigga. Like the only way you can be a high value man is if you have a lot of money. And the only way you can be a real nigga is if you spent a bunch of years in jail. Like people are attaching these weird these weird standards on these goofy ass titles that everyone wants to seem to hold that I'm just so not understanding. I have the hardest time trying to understand it. So when your idea of the partner you're going to search for, the idea of that is based on high value man, you're already creating a standard for the man you're looking for to be based on a bunch of bullshit. You're already creating a fucked up self for a fucked up place for yourself. But the other part too, I think any person that you would go to and you would ask for advice, and they tell and their advice to you is do whatever makes you happy, they have no interest in what happens to you. Because anybody that has actual interest in what happens to you, if you go to them for advice, they're going to give you real advice. Do whatever makes you happy is just some fluffy bullshit that the internet tells you to do because we should all be all inclusive, and that is bullshit.
Well, watch, even to what you saying there, the do what makes you happy part. Again, it's a copy. It's the easiest thing to say. The fact is, that goes to show how many people genuinely have not worked on themselves. Somebody came to me about relationship. You know, the first thing I do, I'm not gonna grill you, but I'm gonna ask you questions on your part. A lot of people don't be wanting to do that because they don't want to try to offend that person. It's just, oh, so what did he do? What did she do? Everything is, what did they do to you? And so, yeah, when you get that do what just makes you happy thing, it's just basically saying, and to decode, y'all know me, I like to decode. I don't really have no answers for you. So, I mean, just go on out there and wing it. That's what that means. When you decode it, all and they're literally waving you off with a hand like, look, I don't really know what to tell you. Like, I mean, what you want answers about how to keep love going? Nigga, I wasn't born in love. I'ma tell you how to keep something I don't have in myself. Only thing I can give you is what I have to offer. Run. That's right. Block, ghost, ignore, run, and move on with somebody else as fast as possible. Take that pain from the first relationship, pop right into some other shit, so that way you can distract yourself. So you never have to really sit with yourself and really take time and think about, what did I just step out of before I step into anything else with anybody else? But I digress. My mic is muted. Respect to the family.
Miss Lene has rejoined us. I'm so glad to see you back, hon, because I am going to be wrapping this thing up really, really soon. 100 Watts said something. I wish I could remember what it was, because it made me think about what my final thought was going to be. We are talking about high value men, where to find them, and how we actually, how do we value them? Thank you.
Depot.
Say that again.
Find them at Home Depot. Anyway, go ahead.
Home Depot, you can find them at the library, you can find them at a lot of places. You look for whatever you want in a person, that's where you look. Go to those places that you want. You want a smart person, go to the library. You want a person that has some money, go to a person. It's what you're looking for. And a lot of these, just to put my perspective, hi everybody, first and foremost, thank you for having me up here. And my name is Lene Monroe.
Hello, young lady.
Peace. But pertaining to the woman, I wasn't able to watch the video because I was signing in the first time, but hearing the conversation, a lot of it is due to our culture. A lot of it is due to the fast-paced culture that's been going on right now. Everything is, hot girl hot girl summer, all that kind of stuff that's going on. Everything is fast-paced in a microwave type of mentality. So it seems to be even male and female. Anything that is quick, oh, I'm going to go find a person that's going to do this, blah, 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 and that's it. A lot of the boundaries have been dropped. A lot of expectations have been dropped. A lot of things have been misconstrued throughout the years of this culture that's been progressing. So I feel like a lot of the females nowadays are just, some of them, and I can't fault all of them. Some of them are just looking for an easy way out. Period, point blank. They're looking for an easy way out to get to something that they see like on TikTok or Instagram that looks convenient, that looks like it's obtainable. But some of these females do not know what structure is when it comes to, you need to have your own before you ask somebody else to have you. You need to be able to say, oh, you cannot ask somebody else to provide something for you that you cannot provide for yourself. Because then when it's taken from you, you're assed out. Excuse the language.
I'm glad you said that, because I was talking with one of my partners earlier today, and I mentioned that a lot of females, I think the reason why they may, or one of the reasons why they may venture off and just want the man that's going to be a benefactor or a sponsor, we don't know what love is anymore. And because we don't know what love is and how to obtain it, we don't think it's.
Wait a minute, Venus. Hold up. Oh, Venus, what love got to do with it? What love got to do with it?
I'm gonna finish. Let me get there.
No, I'm just saying, because I'm teasing with you.
If not believing in love, if I can't have love and I don't know what love is and I don't know how to abide in a loving relationship, then I'm gonna just get the man that can take care of me. That's what love got to do with it, because I don't think love exists. I think men are this. I'm saying all niggas are this. So if a nigga gonna cheat, if a nigga gonna do this, and I got something bad to say about what a nigga is, then I'm gonna just get a nigga to pay my bills. Nigga, that's all you good for.
Love and security are two different, and I don't mean to cut you off at all. I'm sorry, but love and security is two different things. Love and security is two different things. If you want to secure yourself, if you want to secure financially yourself, first you have to financially secure yourself. Then you can. It's basically the same philosophy or the method. You cannot pour into other people if your cup is empty. You have to be able to obtain abundance on your own and have it overflow to other people. But you can't sit there and expect other people to sit there and have something that you're not offering. Now, it's different if you come to people because you're learning, trying to figure out how to obtain these things. That's different. You're using your resources. But when you expect somebody else to change their life or to sit there and add more responsibilities to their life to help you, you have to make sure that you're coming at the table. You have to meet somebody halfway, at least. But love and security are two different things.
Yeah, my point for saying that is because the mindset.
Speaking on one second, sis. Let's keep in mind that we are talking about high value men. Where to find them and how do we value them? Now, I said at the beginning of the video, the podcast, relating back to what Lene just said. It is unfair to men if us women, if we are expecting something different from the guy that we have in ourselves. Most people think that they the shit. Most people think that they the bomb. They'll say they're a good person. You ask a person like, are you a high value person? Like, do you bring a lot to the table? More than likely, that person is going to say yes. But I mentioned if it's wrong, in my opinion, if you don't have a car, but you're judging a man that doesn't have a car, or if you don't make a certain amount of money, but you're devaluing him because he doesn't make that amount. That's just nonsense to me. So with that being said, the point I was making is when people don't value or think they can have one thing that may push them into another thing, along with the social status and wanting to be able to brag, or just being ignorant. Like sometimes we just, I said last week in a podcast, when we don't know better, we can't do better. And so sometimes we just really just got to have the experience in life to know what's important, come out of the fantasy into the reality to really know how life truly operates. Somebody, y'all looking like y'all want to say something. We're going to give final thoughts in a minute because we're coming up on an hour and a half. Go ahead.
You could. I got a question for the sister down right beneath me.
Lene, you have a question, darling?
No, I do. I got one for her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, 100 watts, you want to speak, hun? So we're going to let Seven ask his question to Lene. Lene
Mhm.
is going to answer the question. Then 100 Watts is going to say what's on his mind. And then we're going to give our final thoughts.
All right, I'll make it quick. So, with a slight elaboration, do you believe that it is dangerous to go into a relationship and to teach a person how to love? And I'm saying that in the sense of because I heard what you were saying earlier, just kind of paraphrasing that person needs to have themselves together. So, and I agree, right? Like when we talking about like actual love, I do believe love. First of all, it's an action. You can get getting feelings from the actions that you display. What I do for you is the love, right? And I do it wholeheartedly. But to land it, if a person doesn't love themselves, do you believe that we can teach a person to love themselves without draining ourselves? I digress. My mic is muted.
Thank you so much for that question. And I do agree. It's a complex thing. Okay, so just to be straightforward about it. Pure point blank, you should always love yourself first before you get into anything, before you get into any relationship. And if you have to take time to do that, then take the time to get to know yourself, love yourself, so that way you're able to fill your cup naturally without relying on somebody else. But I do believe there's people that have gotten to relationships that don't love themselves because whatever past trauma or whatever they're going through, and there is that divine blessed person that is able, with consent, to be able to love them through that healing. But the person has to be able to be aware that they're loving somebody that has a little bit of a smaller cup. They have to have consent. It all depends on both of the people's connection and their consensual journey in that. They have to be able to be consensual, and that's the biggest thing. Because if you choose to love somebody, then that's what you choose to do. If you're able to do it, you can do it. There are some people that can get drained from it. It depends on how you're able to. But first and foremost, I think you should just love yourself first. So that way you can just walk into it far more full than what you were empty. I hope that answers your question.
No. I was just no. Thank you for that, and I appreciate it. I was just curious what people think in certain circumstances. I just like to pose thought-provoking questions. That's all.
I appreciate you, beloved. I love those too. So thank you so much for that.
What I was gonna say, they pretty much are covering at this point. Because what I think about now, especially with the younger generation, is that the excuse of not knowing kind of doesn't exist with the way technology works and all of the people that are in the world and sharing their story and are saying like, hey, it wasn't until this age where I figured out my power and all of this other stuff that people say when they start working on themselves. If you until you can figure out what you got going on for you, you can't assess a real value to anything. So you talking about how to find a high value man when you don't know who you are and you're influenced by the internet, you're going to put value in a man that has money, but no moral compass. You're going to put a high value on a man that has a bunch of money, but will smack you around because you haven't figured your own shit out. But once you figure your own internal shit out, then you will have the understanding of what the value is of a person who gets up and goes to a 9-to-5 job with a steady paycheck every day. You can understand the value of that. You can understand the value of living a steady and stable life. For the sake of conversation, we'll say predictable. You'll see the value in living a somewhat predictable life. So until you figure out what you got going on for you, you're gonna be tricked and amused and amazed by all of the gold that is really glitter. It's because a lot of it's glitter, especially on the internet. Most of it's glitter. Ain't no real gold. I bet you. As soon as you bite into it, it'll be cake. It should be soft as hell. Most of the stuff that you look at is not real. So until you can figure out what you got swimming on inside your own head, inside of your own moral compass and your own motivations, you're gonna be tricked and amused by anything. So that's how you end up getting somebody that pay your bills and still get you a friend on the side because you just trying to have a good time.
That's a motherfucking mic drop right there. We are going to give our final thoughts. And as a matter of fact, we're going to go around the circle. We're going to do 7, Lene Monroe, OG Patrice, 100 watts, and then yours truly. Let's get it.
Great. I would say for something that I am so over talking about, this was very much so thought provoking. You got a nice little twist to it. I appreciate how you went on ahead and put your own spin to it. It actually was a very enjoyable show. I feel like I got a little bit of socializing out for the day. So you know what I mean? I appreciate it. But other than that, I'm not going to hold the floor. I digress. I guess leave it back to the family. Oh, and this picture right here, you know, today was my homeboy since the second grade at funeral. I just wanted to give him a shout out. That's all. So shout out to my homeboy David, my homeboy DJ. Yeah.
Sorry for your loss. May he rest in peace.
You say today
Rest in
was his
paradise.
funeral?
Yeah, today was this, today was
Okay, I want to do a few moments of silence. What I'm going to do in the moment of silence, I am I'm going to close my eyes. As y'all can see, my eyes are already closed, and I am going to visualize him in a peaceful place. I am going to visualize that his purpose here in this realm was beneficial and not in vain, and that according to my belief, of course, if he returns at whatever space and time, that he can have it, and even not to say that his life in this particular life cycle wasn't enjoyable, but that the next one will be even more enjoyable. So, and what was his name? 7.
his name was David Johnson, my homeboy DJ. Known him since second grade.
I say so. A moment of silence for DJ. I say it's deep. It's a little difficult coming off of that moment of silence because I'm feeling something stirring in my heart chakra. Smitty, why did you do this to me?
I just wanted to give boy a shout out. I did not mean to damn.
No, I'm messing with you. When I say that, I know it's not a you thing. Spirit gonna always do what Spirit wants to do.
Yeah,
I'm just so connected to the spiritual realm. Certain stuff will trigger and activate a certain part of me, and it'd be like, "Whoa, I'm not trying to go there." So,
then don't go there right now. Go to your final.
Oh, I won't unless Spirit really, really urges me to do so. Okay. We are going to hear from Miss Lene Monroe. My. Y'all gotta excuse me. We're gonna hear from Miss Lene Monroe, Miss OG Patrice, doing the final thoughts, 100 watts, and then yours truly.
So for me, my little closing out is basically overall, just make sure you love up on yourself throughout these changes that's been going on through life and the culture and everything. Just make sure you take time to love up on yourself, get to know yourself, whether that takes a day, 2 days, a week, months. Take the time, because this is your time to shine, and you need to be able to do that before you can add any value to anybody else. You need to make sure you know the definition of your self-value, know what value looks like, know what type of value that you want to give, know the type of value that you will accept, but make sure that you are loving up on yourself, beloved, because this world sometimes can be a nasty place, but you need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself first before you can give.
I had to go get a massage today.
I say that was another freaking mic drop. Like, I feel like a bomb just got dropped. It was quick, and I don't know if I was ready for that bomb. You saying that in reference to loving on yourself?
Yeah, I mean, as far as because somebody in my life was saying how, like, they said, man, look, I can see it in your face, your glow's starting to go. Man, go pamper yourself. Go do something for you. I really truly am one of those people. I'm so concerned about everybody else. Then I gotta look and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I could go using nice little new outfit, feel fresh and something. I think I will just go sit down and order me a steak and have somebody serve me for once. You know what I'm saying? So when she said that, that sparked that in my mind. I really had to learn, like I literally had to retrain myself to pamper myself because I just don't do it. But I digress, my mic is muted.
Kudos to you, young man. And I'm being facetious when I say that. You know why I said that, because of what happened at the beginning. But
I like rolling jokes. I like the rolling joke. It's all good.
Miss OG Patrice, your final thoughts, darling.
Yes, ma'am. Just in closing, I've been in these YouTube streets for a minute. You know, people like Hunter Watts can tell you I've sat on many platforms trying to give wisdom and inspire the younger generation, because I believe that if I have stood on the shoulders of giants, then I have to pay it forward and do the same for the ones that it's coming up right now in front of me. So when we have these conversations, and I realize we still where we're at from when I first came on this Red app 5 years ago, is that I am my sister's keeper. And it doesn't matter that she's not my blood sister, because if I can inspire and give some advice, if I see where a young lady is going wrong, I feel obligated. You know, I feel that I owe that to the ancestors that give it to me. I owe it to myself to pass it down. You don't keep wisdom, knowledge, and things of good and gifts and talents that God bless us with. You don't keep them to yourself. God gave them to us to share. So when I said, what's love got to do with it, when I was saying that, Venus, because unfortunately, it's a lot of young ladies like that young lady on that video that's her mindset. What's love got to do with it? I just want the bag. I just want my bills paid. I have me a side piece on the side. And that's sad that this is where these women value themselves. These young ladies, these females value themselves, because you have to value yourself in order to know what a real high value man is. And if you don't value yourself in that way, if you don't carry yourself with integrity, if you don't carry yourself with morals and values and scruples and a moral compass and all the things that if you are not loving on yourself, you're not going to be able to give that to nobody. And I mean nobody. And I say that because we look at how some mothers have raised their daughters. She says she got that from her mother. Her mother told her that. Her mother got that from somewhere. So if we study passing down the degeneracy of conversation and mindsets like this, yeah, we lost. So every opportunity I have, I come on the platform and try to leave some gems for the younger generation, men and women, because I value myself. Therefore, I know what a high value man looks like. And it ain't always a man with a lot of money that's leading with his wallet. And they going to learn that the right way or the wrong way. But either way, they going to learn today. I close.
All right, I'm gonna chop it up real quick because my brain I can run this for a whole hour, but we're gonna say it like this. Based on the conversation for today, the conversation was about high value men. So to fellas, my guy, I promise you, you will be able to create more value for yourself if you develop your hands, your mind, and your heart. Your wallet will never be able to match what the fuck you can accomplish with your life if you can develop your hands, your heart, and your mind. Your hands, because whatever you can produce brings people to you. Being able to give something to other people brings people to you. Your mind, you have to be able to solve problems for people. You become valuable when you solve problems for people, whether they're inside of your circle or outside of your circle. You have to be able to solve problems. And your heart, you have to develop that because you have an understanding of what it is that you will accept in your life and what it is that you'll give to other people. You know how to move through, like you're not going to treat somebody the way that you would not want to be treated if you develop your heart. If you develop your heart, your hands, and your mind, I promise you it'll take you a lot farther in your life than your wallet ever fucking will. That's my closing argument today.
Sir.
Boom. Boom, boom.
Sir. Look, not only was that and I'm gonna use my hood swag with this. Not only was that a motherfucking mic drop, but god damn it, that was a church benediction. Do you hear me? I used to be a church woman, so I know what it's like. And I remember in my church days when the preacher was preaching real good and it resonated with you, you went and put some money on the goddamn altar. Look, sir, the doors of the church is open. If anybody needs to get saved, because
Ushers, lock the door. Lock.
My. Oh my gosh. What can I say behind that? Really, all I was going to do, thank you so much for that. There was some wisdom and insight for our ass. And my ass ain't as big as it used to be because I done lost 25 pounds, but I still got a look back there. That was some wisdom for my ass right there. And I said that as an analogy because I got a lot of wisdom and I had a lot of ass, but as I stated earlier, a high value man is a real man. And a real man is a mature man, a man that honors himself, a man that respects himself, a compassionate man. Smitty mentioned earlier, a hardworking man. Did I say a man that values himself? All of those things are things that makes a man a real man. And when you are a real man, like just a grown ass man, you high value, period, points, and motherfucking blank. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. What 100 Watts said, don't let that goddamn glitter fool you into thinking what a high value man is because of what it looks like. We ain't talking about what it looks like. We talking about what it is, or TI is. Where to find a high value man?
Well,
you can find them anywhere. You can find them walking down the street. You can find them in a grocery store. You may even find a high value man sitting at a bar. You never freaking know.
That's where I met my husband years ago. I met him at a bar, believe it or not.
Wow. You can find them next to you in your ride share of the Uber or even driving the Uber. Or the bus, if you ride in the bus. He might be the bus driver or the person sitting somewhere on the bus. How do we value a high value man? Don't take away from who they are just because of some, what's the word I'm looking for? Some unreasonable society standard that isn't realistic. This is Galaxy Venus, or I am Galaxy Venus. This is the Sensual Eccentric Podcast, episode 3. We have discussed a high value man, where to find them, and how to value them. I love y'all so much. I will be back next week with another great topic. Y'all come on in, stay. This is home. And y'all are welcome in my home as long as y'all know how to act, because I put motherfuckers out. Figuratively and metaphorically speaking.
I would
love
just
y'all.
say briefly, what's love but a second-hand emotion?
Okay.
So much to say about that, because last week I talked about, was it last week? I talked about what is love and loving yourself, or was that episode 1? Go back and check out episode 1, because you were here last week for episode 2. But one love, much love all the time. Y'all stay high valued.
Peace.
And I will make it real indeed. Don't say time to go. No, I know you got some to spare. We've been fighting feeling when it's obvious that we both care. So taking me to the moon. I wanna be with the stars. Send me into orbit. Oh, send me into orbit.